Hello! This is my third time filming this video because when I tried filming it on my laptop, the app Photo Booth just didn't store the video. So here we are. Hello. My name is Joseph and welcome to my channel. This was supposed to be your first quarter video. It is well into the second quarter. But what did I say? Better late than never. I hope you're doing well. I am doing pretty alright. Today I want to talk about 3 very important documents that are important for my health, and I think they could benefit you too. All examples of all 3 documents will be linked in the description, and I really encourage you to watch and make your own documents. So the 3 are a crisis safety plan, a wellness recovery action plan, and then a document about physical health. I don't know, it doesn't have a name. The person who I got the idea from calls it her medical binder, so that's the term I'll be using. But obviously you don't have to keep it in a binder. That's that. So step 1, or document 1, a crisis safety plan. I have made several of these, typically while inpatient at a mental health hospital, as preparation for discharge. And they have been very helpful. And they're very small. It's 1 sheet of paper, front and back, usually. So often they will contain, things I can do to help my mental health, signs that my mental health is deteriorating, what I can do specifically to combat that deterioration, goals I have for the future so I'm not stuck in the present, things that I enjoy that, make life worth living, people who I can contact when I need support, signs that I really need professional help, people I can contact in a crisis, and that's both like friends and people in my community and like professional help, like an ER or a mental hospital, and ways that I can like limit access to lethal items. So for example, like keeping your guns in a safe and not having the key, or giving all your medication to a friend for one night so you don't have access to it, that sort of thing. And I think a crisis safety plan, because it is so short, is something everyone should do. And I think they are very powerful, they are very helpful. You can hang them like up on your fridge or somewhere where you'll see them, And you can also give a copy to loved ones so that if they see something that you don't see, like a deterioration, they can step in and be like, hey, I noticed this, what's going on? So that's that. Then next document is called a WRAP, or a Wellness Recovery Action Plan. And it is like the crisis safety plan, but on steroids. Mega. So ideally, I try to update this every quarter. It doesn't happen. I'm looking at it, and the last time I updated it was last year. So, better late than never, I guess. It has a brief little introduction saying what a WRAP is, and when I have built mine, and then the next section is, I'm just going to walk you through mine. I'm obviously not going to share all the information, but that's okay. The next is contact information and overview, which has like information about me, so my name, ways to contact me, blah, blah, blah. It has a list of my emergency contacts, my allergies, all the members of my healthcare team, so my doctor, my therapist, all of them. It has a list of the current medications, vitamins, and supplements I take, and who prescribed them. And then it has a list of previously taken psychiatric medications that for whatever reason do not work for me anymore. It has a list of my current and historic mental health diagnoses, my current physical health diagnoses, and the fact that I have no current advanced directive, living will, or traditional will. Then there's the section Wellness, what it looks like, where I have a little introduction about what I think a good life for me right now looks like. It has a list of all the activities of daily living that I'd like to accomplish. Activities of daily living are basically the things you need to do to keep yourself alive. So, like, reading or brushing your... Not reading. Reading is not an ADL. Eating or brushing your teeth or things like that. And then it has a chunk of things I would like to do every day to live a good life that are not necessary. So reading would go there. Or like filling out a diary card for dialectical behavioral therapy. And then there's a section of things I need to do not on a daily basis, but are important. So it's like setting up my pill strips. There's this channel called The Fry Life, and Mary Fry calls her pill strips comblers, so that's what I call mine. So if you hear me say that, that's what a combler is. Or like going to therapy once a week. And then there are things that support my wellness that I would like to do, not necessarily every day. So creating is an example. As is taking medication that I do not need to take on a daily basis. Like, I have a migraine medication that I take only when I get migraines. So then there's a section of things I would like to try to support my wellness that I currently do not do. An example that I am happy to share is I would like to get back into martial arts, because I feel like it's a good way to exercise, and it's a good way to be in touch with my body. And my brain felt good when I was doing martial arts. So that's something I'd like to get back into. Then there's a list of coping strategies. There's a section of things that give me meaning or are important to me. There's a section of things I need to try to avoid to support my wellness, which includes like isolation. It can include media about sexual assault, things like that. There's a section of warning signs that I'm deteriorating mentally. There's a section of signs that things are escalating to the point that I need professional intervention. There's a 3-step crisis plan, and there's another 3-step crisis plan that is very similar. So both of them start with contact a support person to come be with me. And if none of my support people can be with me, that can even look like just FaceTiming or being on a call, because I should not be alone when I'm in crisis. Step 2, this is the place where they diverge. If it's like a crisis, but not really a crisis, then I want to contact someone who works at the place where I get my mental health care, whether that's my therapist or psychiatrist or just whoever's on call. If things are really bad, I'm not going to wait. The step turns into like contacting a mental hospital or the closest ER. And then step 3 for both is ground in whatever way works. So for those who don't know, grounding is basically trying to be present in the moment, not thinking about the past or the future, which is in contradiction to earlier when I was talking about having goals and whatever. And different things are helpful at different times. Grounding during a crisis is really helpful because often crises are about fear of the past or the present being our forever future. And so if you stop thinking about the forever future and are just like in the moment, it can often help lower that anxiety. Then there's a section on how supportive people can help me, and a section on how supportive people can do things they think would be helpful that aren't. An example of things that are helpful is like physical contact. I'm a big touch person, so that is often very helpful. Something that is often not helpful is people saying platitudes like "this too shall pass," "you have so much to live for," etc. That just makes me feel guilty. Then there's a list of people to contact for support, people to contact in an emergency, so like 911 or 988, which is the National Suicide Prevention line, both calling and texting. There's some hospitals, that sort of thing. I have a list of further resources, which is just kind of exactly what it sounds like, further resources about mental health and illness. So I have The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, which is a book on how the body remembers trauma. I have some workbooks that I got while inpatient. There's a great book called Life After Ed about beating an eating disorder that I have listed there. And then the last section currently is examples of activating or triggering events and how to ride through them. And so each type of event gets its own section. So like, what do I do if I'm isolated, or if there's a conversation about weights and diets, or if I consume intentionally or unintentionally media about sexual assault. They all get their own section. And that's currently it. However, like the food, the sandwich wrap, a wellness recovery action plan can kind of contain whatever. I add and subtract stuff as needed, as it comes to mind. So your wrap does not have to look like this. It can look completely different. But yeah, that's the wrap. That's a wrap on the wrap. The last document I want to talk about is the unnamed document that I'm calling a medical binder. And it is actually very similar to the wrap in the beginning. It also starts with an introduction. It starts with the same contact information and overview, providers, medications, and who's prescribing them. It has, in addition to previously taken psychiatric medication, it has a list of previously taken physical health medication, diagnoses I have, diagnoses I had at one point, and the fact that I have no current advanced directive, living will, or traditional will. So that's that. That's where it kind of diverges. In the medical binder, next up is a list of all my past and present diagnoses, when I was diagnosed, what profession diagnosed them, not necessarily what doctor, but like, was it an immunologist, was it a GI doctor, who undiagnosed me, if it is a past diagnosis that no longer applies. Did I say when I was diagnosed? When I was diagnosed, the symptoms I have, the ways we have tried to, who is treating it, how they're trying to treat it, any things I feel are not being adequately addressed. Yeah, that's kind of it. And then I have a list of all the major medical events that have happened to me, so like any surgeries I've had, any times I've gone under anesthesia, big tests like colonoscopies or CT scans or ultrasounds or whatever. I don't currently have blood work in there, but I think it would behoove me to put the results of like, the last X amount of times worth of blood work. Come on, brain. yeah, okay, so tests, surgeries, that sort of thing. I have my, family medical history. And then I have, like, I don't know, goals for what I hope my physical health can look like in the future. And I think this is really important because I see a lot of specialists and they don't always talk to each other. They don't even always talk to my primary care physician. So having all the information about my health consolidated into one place helps whoever I'm seeing that day figure out what they need to be doing and what a good next step is. Yeah, and like their app, it's very customizable. You can have whatever you would like in it. But yeah, those are the 3 big documents that I wanted to talk about today. I highly encourage everyone to make a wellness recovery action plan. And I really encourage everyone to make all 3 of these, but do whatever makes sense for your life. I hope this is helpful. Like I said, examples will be linked in the description. And I hope to see you again before July for quarter 2's video. I hope you take care of yourself, and I hope you have a great day.